Hi everyone, welcome back to Just the iLogs. In this video, I'm showing you our meals of the week. I cook with what I have. I don't make a meal plan, so I'm showing you how I can be creative and how I can make our dinners simple and easy. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like and subscribe. So what I have here in front of me is sausage patty that I got from Costco. That is a very big bag that can last us for 2 weeks. I have some leftover potato rolls. I think my husband bought this for Sloppy Joe's. I also have some eggs that I'm going to be serving on that as well. And then to spice up the flavor of eggs, I have this everything mushroom that I found in my local grocery store. I did saute in some butter. And then these are the eggs from Costco that I used for today. Eggs are pretty much affordable at this time, so I took 2 eggs per breakfast sandwich. And you want to lightly scramble these eggs. You don't want to overcook them. The sausage patties were also heated up in the air fryer, and then I did take the buns and then I toasted them on the frying pan, the same pan that we used with the scrambled eggs, with a little bit of butter. And then you can quickly wrap them in foil and then take it for lunch or take it for breakfast. I showed you earlier what I cooked for breakfast, and I forgot to show you what I had for lunch. So this is basically the leftovers that I had for lunch. This is a squash mixed with other vegetables like okra, beans, ginger, and eggplant that my mother-in-law cooked yesterday. And then we use ground beef. We normally use pork or ground pork, but we used what we had, and that's why we use ground beef. So anyway, this was for our lunch. It's really hearty. You can see the squash is kind of like squished down and melted, almost like a thick soup, and I put it in this little container to bring with me to work. This is what's left over. We're gonna pop into the refrigerator so it doesn't spoil. And unfortunately, my kids don't really like it. They're really picky because there's all the vegetables in there, but it's really hearty and it tastes delicious. Once I let my kids taste it, then they say, no, it tastes good, but mentally they're thinking it's too much veggies and that's why they don't want to eat it. But I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator so my mother-in-law can eat it, and then possibly maybe one of my boys will eat it too. In the afternoon, my mother-in-law cooked up the fried rice that we had left over from yesterday, and so it's a day old. So we have some egg that I cooked this morning. We have some hot dogs that we cooked yesterday as well, and these are the leftover. And she just made fried rice. So a little bit of garlic, a little bit of soy sauce. It could use a little bit of soy sauce, more soy sauce in here, and then we also used butter to fry it up. For dinner, we have ground beef that we're going to make with vegetables, a very common and easy dish that we make. And then we're going to season it with black pepper, salt, garlic powder, soy sauce, and a little bit of oyster sauce. Right now, the ground beef is in the works. My mother-in-law is going to cook it as I go to work. The veggies are cooking. Again, this is a really easy dish. We're just going to wait until the veggies are defrosted. This is the oyster sauce that I bought this time. And then this is the salt, pepper, and soy sauce that we're going to add to our dish. Okay, so I'm going to cover my dinner. I'm going to bring this with me. I'm going to eat a couple strawberries now, and then I'll bring a couple with me. And then this is the snack that my daughter just took out. She just came home from her activity after school. She's going to have some Oreos and a glass of milk. Good morning. This is day 2, and this is what I'm making with what I have. So I'm making a couple of different things for this morning's breakfast. So I have this crescent rolls, which I've had in the refrigerator for about a couple weeks. Unfortunately, the second one busted open and dried out in my refrigerator. So this is the remaining one. I had pepperoni that I bought a couple weeks ago. I didn't realize I had this in my refrigerator because I went to Costco and I bought more pepperoni. I also have some spaghetti sauce that I bought from my local grocery store, and that was on sale. And then I also bought some cheese. This is the quesadilla from Walmart that I bought from last week. So this is how I make my food. I just stock up in my refrigerator and in my pantry, and then I cook whatever I feel like cooking for that day. Just to let you know, you don't have to use crescent rolls like I did. You can certainly use something else, but this video is really all about using what you have. And what I had in my refrigerator or my freezer are these crescent rolls. So one important thing about putting sauce on these crescent rolls or on any dough is that you don't want to get the edges wet. You want to be able to keep it dry so you can seal it. So I did apply as many pepperoni as I could on top of the crescent rolls, and then I put my cheese right on top, and then after that, then you can go ahead and roll it. So I started off at the tip. You can kind of give it a little tug, tuck it in, and then you roll it towards you. And then even though when I turned it around, I did have a little breakage in the front, but that's okay. You can just kind of pinch it closed, and then just make sure all the edges are sealed so none of the sauce or the cheese leaks out as it's cooking. While the air fryer is heating up, this is my hard-boiled eggs. My youngest daughter is with me today. She's not feeling that well. So I said to her, what'd she want to eat? And she said hard-boiled eggs.
and for dinner or for lunch, whichever, you know, the case may be. But we're gonna cook lasagna. I have the second jar on the table. I might take a third jar. I also have a crushed tomato. I also have, instead of ground beef, I have just a regular sweet Italian sausage. I was gonna use spicy, but I don't have anymore. The pizza bites are done. I just followed the cooking instructions on the croissants. So you cook it at 300 for 5 minutes, and then you flip it and you cook it for additional 4 minutes. I didn't bother flipping it because it was sticking to the bottom. So this is how it came out, and it came out really good. So I'm gonna just try to carefully pry it off there. I should have put a little oil, but I didn't. So hopefully I don't break the whole entire thing. I can let it cool in there so it can get a little bit hard before taking it out. All right, so it's kind of a funky breakfast, but here are the pizza bites. I made 8 from the 8 croissants from the package. I have a small bowl filled with hard-boiled eggs. Some of them didn't peel as smooth, but that's all right. And I could make some egg salad sandwich for lunch with this. So depending what we want, my son probably will eat 3 at a time for breakfast.
The cheesy bites came out very cheesy and delicious, and I love how the crescent rolls gives a nice crispiness to the outside and it's slightly sweet. What you can do is make like a large amount of it, like maybe 2 containers, 3 containers of croissants. Cook it, let it cool down, and then put in the freezer. So when you're on the go, you can just grab one from the freezer and just heat it up. For lunch, we're going to use up the rest of the ingredients that we used for pizza this morning, but this time we're going to use a wrap. So what I have in my refrigerator is the low carb balance wrap, and what you do is you pop it into the air fryer at 400 degrees for 2 minutes, and that gets it nice and crispy. Then you take your ingredients and you put it right on top of the wrap. Don't bother taking it out and applying the ingredients, just put everything inside, because then it's going to get difficult to carry back in and you're going to drop the ingredients. So just be careful not to put any sauce or any cheese into the air fryer itself, or else it's gonna burn. So I put a heavy amount of tomato sauce. I would say maybe 3 tablespoons, 2 to 3 tablespoons, and then you can put a handful of cheese and then the pepperoni that you desire, or whatever topping that you choose. And then you can put it into the air fryer for an additional 2 minutes. And then this is how it turned out. You can literally make dinner in a few minutes. And then if you wanted to make a big batch, you can try this in the oven. I haven't tried it. I just find the air fryer very convenient.
I'm gonna have to end you with today's dinner with just the cooked sausages. But yeah, this is the first time we're gonna cook lasagna with this sausage. So we're gonna let this cool down. We're gonna cut it into small little pieces of meat, and then we're gonna just add the sauce. So I'm gonna ask my husband or one of my kids to take a picture when it's done.
I used the Italian sausage because I had it on hand, but we normally use ground beef. I kind of don't recommend using the Italian sausage because it doesn't fill up the pan. So we actually had to use 1.5 lasagna boxes to make this lasagna, and you can see right now it's not full. Here's the outcome to the lasagna. We didn't even have to cook the lasagna noodles, we just layered it right on top. We do have a problem with our oven, so the lasagna did cook a little bit more on the top, but that actually came out very delicious. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Hi everyone, welcome back. Today is another day, and I did take a day or 2 off from the last time I showed you what I cooked for the day. So I have a couple of family members who already left the house, actually 3. I'm not serving like a big family this morning. And for Sunday's breakfast, we have this leftover just bare chicken that I cooked in the air fryer yesterday, and I forgot about it. So I just heat that up and I had some for myself. And then I am also serving my youngest daughter, who's here with me, some farina. The farina I've had for a few months, and she likes the hot cereal, so that's what we're having for breakfast. My son, I believe he's still here. He's still sleeping. He can serve himself when he gets up. For dinner, I have this big solid piece of beef. This is the bottom round roast, and I'm planning to marinate this with the Szechuan sauce that I bought in ShopRite about maybe this past week. It's still solid, like I literally took it out of the freezer, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to marinate this, but that's the plan. We also have some shrimp in our refrigerator. That's batter I got from Costco, and that one we should be cooking as well, so we might have that as a snack for today. For lunch, we are having tempura shrimp today. This is by Costco, or the brand Kirkland. It's already fully cooked and the shrimp is pretty big. So all you have to do is put in the air fryer for 4 minutes at 375. It does come with this sauce. It's like lightly sweet, not heavily sweet. And then our neighbor was kind enough to give us 2 McDonald's kids meal.
They wanted a different kind of game, and this is the toy that came with, but we are happy to receive what we have. And then we have a little bit of that bear chicken left from this morning. I asked my kids if they can eat some rice with this. They said no, it's kind of weird. So instead, I am going to saute some of these, I don't know if it's like Chinese broccoli. I had it in the fridge now for a few days. So I'm just going to cook that up and serve it with maybe a little bit of soy sauce and garlic powder. I'm going to start to cook another batch because my girls and I pretty much ate that in a couple of minutes. And I can only fit 7 pieces of shrimp in this air fryer. So that's why I'm doing this in batches. Yeah, I thought this was on sale and it really wasn't. So I really, let's see, 5, 6, 7. Actually, I can put one more. But yeah, I bought this. I thought it was on sale in my local grocery store. And then by the time I compared it with another store, it wasn't on sale. So it was $50 for this instant fryer. It's only 4 quarts. All right, so I'm going to do 4 minutes like instructed to. And if I need more time, then I'm just going to add additional time. Here's the shrimp. It looks perfect. Maybe I didn't cook it right the first time, but 4 minutes is just right. Shrimp is still pretty hot, so I'm gonna eat this now. You dunk it into the sauce. Look how big the shrimp is. With it's like a tempura batter. Oh my gosh. That's really good. The sauce is not overly sweet. It is savory and mildly sweet.
To cook up the veggies or these Chinese broccoli, all you have to do is take a hot frying pan, put some oil in it, let it sit there for a few minutes, and then add your salt and garlic. You don't want to burn the garlic and you don't want to overcook the vegetables.
The sauce we heated up in the microwave, and it's just a little bit of sauce per like little package. So this is our second package, and we just served it in these like little Dollar Tree like containers. I think I had it like this. All right, I think we ate 7 and 8, so 15. We still have another 15 in the box because it does come with 30. There you go. Here's our unfinished dinner. I was able to slice the beef, but I was not able to cook it. It is slightly frozen, but it can still be cooked tonight. So I sliced it thin. I added this Asian Szechuan sauce. I'm gonna let it marinate in here because I can't cook it. I'm gonna have to have one of my kids or my husband cook it. So I still have about half of the sauce left in this jar. And what I asked my oldest daughter to do is cook everything into a pot, let it cook on low, and then when it's almost done, add those green veggies that we cooked earlier with the shrimp. So I don't have time to cook today, and this will be their dinner for tonight. Everyone, good morning. I took another day off from vlogging, so I have this nice breakfast for my 2 kids who are ready to go to school. Actually, one's going to work and the other one's going to school. But I gave them a nice hefty breakfast, finally using the Spam maple. I did put 2 eggs in here and I cooked it with butter. I have the toasted English muffin. We're not going to put any cheese on top. We're just going to eat it as is. I'm going to cook a couple more so my other 2 kids can have breakfast before they head out to school. Here, guys, enjoy. For lunch today, it's only going to be me, so I really only need to get 1 flounder out of this package. So I'm going to take one out and just leave it on the counter. And then for dinner, I'm going to cook menudo, which is like a Filipino and also can be a Spanish dish. This is the meat that I'm going to be using. I was going to defrost 2 packages, but I'm going to stick with lowering our meat intake. So 1 package I have. I'm going to add carrots. I'm going to add potatoes. I'm going to add, I think I have some raisins, but raisins can go in there. You don't have to add raisins, but that's really going to be the dish. I'm going to add some tomato sauce to the menudo as well. I don't have any like liver paste, but I think I'm going to add a little bit of the chili. I'm just going to be cooking what I have and just trying to recreate a menudo dish, but it's not going to be a true menudo.
Buds are starting to grow on the potatoes, so the potatoes definitely need to get cooked today. I also like the individual packets of flounder so you can cook just 1 or 2 pieces instead of the whole entire package. Then we had a change of plans. I didn't have to cook anything for lunch. I was able to find a large tray of food in the downstairs refrigerator from a couple days ago, and so I just heat that up well for my lunch. I am still doing intermittent fasting, so this is actually my first meal of the day, and it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon. This dish is somewhat similar to the pork menudo, but it has chicken instead of pork, and it does have potatoes, carrots, and bell pepper, but it doesn't have the liver paste, raisins, or the olives. All right, so here's my lunch already heated up. I do have a little bit of ricotta cheese on the side because I like to have some ricotta cheese. It keeps me full until the next meal. Here's how our dinner is going. I have the meat already chopped up. I have some onion, garlic, salt, pepper, and then I added this tomato basil seasoning from the Dollar Tree, and that's what I have on top. I just got to give it a good mix. I was deciding if I should add the fish sauce on top of here, so that can marinate as well, but if I don't, then I can just add it to the dish. There was a good amount of fat in the meat, so I just cut that off, and then I boiled it with a little bit of water and salt, and then I added some oil once the water evaporated. So I know this is not a true cook with me video, but I just wanted to show you what I will do with the fatty part of the meat, and then I'm going to combine that together with the rest of the dish later on. Okay everyone, I finished cooking dinner. This is what it looks like. It's not a real take on the pork menudo. I did add some beans. I added some Stephen Ed's chili, which kind of was like watery at the end. There was like no meat and there's no beans, so I just added another can of beans. And then I did add a little bit more spice, so it's a little bit on the spicier side. Also, the potatoes, I know they're a little bit softer than what I wanted to be because Stephen Ed's really added a lot of liquid to the sauce. So I took some of the sauce out so it's not floating and it doesn't look like soup. But this is our dinner tonight. The rice is cooking in the rice cooker right now, and I'm gonna let my kids eat when they're ready. Good morning. I have another meals of the week for you. I did take a couple of days off because I was working. So this morning we're having French toast. Right now I have 3 eggs. I have 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar, and then I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm gonna mix that together before I add the milk because I noticed that the cinnamon is hard to mix. So using the egg and the sugar, it incorporates well. I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of butter. You can brown this for more flavor, but I just melted it in the microwave. And I'm just going to slowly add it to the batter. This is optional. I just like to add it sometimes. So now that the cinnamon is all mixed in, I'm just going to add my cup of milk. Mix it that as well. We're going to butter our little skillet here. This is a skillet I bought from Target. I know I said I wasn't going to do like a cook with me video, but I thought this for breakfast is easy enough. So I just dunk my bread into the mixture, into the batter, flip it over, and then just shake it off, and then put it onto the tray. I don't use white bread for French toast. It's just too porous and the bread is going to get too soggy. Okay. I could add more, but I'm bringing my daughter to school, so I'm just going to cook this much. All right, change my mind. Let's do one more just to make it even. You also want to make sure that the batter is mixed well so you don't have a clump of sugar or a clump of cinnamon on a particular slice of bread. You can also add additional cinnamon as you go along because some of that will be absorbed into the bread, and you can also add some vanilla extract if you have it for extra flavor. Make sure to add additional butter before flipping the French toast so it continues to be non-stick and both sides can taste the same. Okay, so here is the French toast for my daughter's breakfast. If she was eating at home, you can also sprinkle some powdered sugar, and then it can be a little bit more sweeter and look more presentable, and also a little bit more cinnamon if you like. So I'm just going to wrap this up and drop her off to school. And because I had some powdered sugar, I didn't want to miss this opportunity to jazz up the French toast. So I did put some powdered sugar and a little bit more cinnamon into a strainer, and I'm just gently powdering all over the French toast. I also had some frozen berries, so I'm just spreading it all throughout. This package included strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries. You can find this at Costco, Walmart, or in your local grocery store, or put whatever fruit you desire, frozen or fresh. I'm just using what I have.
Okay everyone, so here is our lunch slash dinner. I really don't know what to call it because it's kind of early for us to have dinner. It's only 4:30, and for us, for my family, that is early. We normally like to eat around 8. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure what to call it, but I'm hungry. This is my first meal of the day. I have our cod that I cooked with the seasoned flour and egg wash, or egg mixture. I also have the baby bok choy seasoned with a little bit of salt and garlic. And then I have our air fried potatoes that I seasoned with this chili chipotle seasoning from the Dollar Tree. Or is this from the Dollar Tree? I'm not sure if the Dollar Tree or my grocery store. And then a little bit of this Bull and Basket Za'atar spice blend, which I really like. So that is our lunch slash dinner. I do have a little bit of ground beef that's defrosted in the refrigerator, so I think I'm gonna cook that for our last meal of the day.
Alright, so those are our 5 full days meals of the week in a nutshell. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new.